Yeah. I agree. I mean, I definitely like this draft for Thunder much more. Well, at least the other two drafts fair. I think last time we could call it an out draft. Maybe I don't think this time is that bad. They have some weaknesses for sure, but
And like the last time, it's not even that their draft didn't cover all angles. It's a couple of ridiculous picks. You gotta take those out. You can craft yourself beautiful ice sculpture. Mammoth coming straight at you.
Prepare for battle.
What are you gonna do? Artistry doesn't matter much.
well, that is the most Finnish reference you could give me. So,
Sorry, I was looking out the window.
as a Spaniard who's currently living at 33 degrees, I don't know what to mean with carving ice sculpture. It's just water for me at this point. but yeah, I agree with your point. It's tough. I think ThunderP seemingly is finding their ground a bit more though, because this draft looks like last draft, just better, right?
Yes.
They haven't changed gears, which is good currently for ThunderP.
And it's going to give you some, at the very least, talk about what actually happened in the exact same thing, but better.
That's true. I want the perspective. Did you do that when did you sometimes have games where you actually force this to happen to actually learn from them when you were coaching?
Like if you're flailing wildly, and that happens right when you instabilize, because in Dota it's very hard to say, all right, this is exactly why it went wrong. Always have different opinions. And it doesn't even have to do with, oh, it was your mistake. Often people actually want it to be their mistake so that they can just play better next time, and then it's solved. That's something that you gotta think about. Yeah. So sometimes you just gotta standardize the drafts so that you can actually get to the point where, like, alright, we tried this twice now, it went wrong twice in the same. We can be pretty sure now that, you know, this was a problem.
He's going to die to 23 Savage? No, not quite. Not quite. Okay, so that's interesting. So that's why you think that, if anything, even if this ends up being a loss, it's a valuable educational experience regardless for Thunder, who need to stabilize before TI.
Yeah, and especially more valuable than doing another wild draft. And like another wild draft and winning ice syrup?
Yeah.
But at the same time, since you're changing too many variables at the same time, this is not science. How are we supposed to know what made the difference?
That's true. You gotta keep those constants in check. Yeah.
Exactly.
Or controlled variables for those of you that are the big British nerds.
And you've got enemies doing
Exactly, yeah. And this time they did change their draft completely. I mean, this is T1 is definitely experimenting this patch to a degree. I mean, the Riki carry I think is a big experiment, but I'm excited to see. It's actually, I know 23 Savage is now known for these like really stable carries and everything, but it used to be known for the crazy ones particularly, and for Spectre and his like crazy jobs and the way they used to play with. I think the Riki does suit at least his old playstyle.
Wild Morphling Day.
Oh yes, I remember that. Yeah, the wild Morphling days. You still flex money. I mean, SEA everyone. It's kind of like the badge of honor. You don't reach 7k unless you play Morphling. Frank's gonna die. Relatively easy kill for Whitemon, who just harassed him to death. He stayed there a bit too long. And Frank is gonna be a bit sad. If he felt emotions, Frank's actually a robot, no big deal.
It's the benefit of Riki. If you can actually keep rushing up and really all his blink strikes charges constantly. Ours, not actually that much armor.
Yep. It's true. And Riki, on the other hand, a lot of armor. Why?
Because otherwise he's completely useless.
No, I get it in game balance, but look at, he's pretty much naked. He's a rat. Have you... At least his design should have a little bit more armor on him. It's all I'm saying, Kips. It bothers me that Kips that he has so little armor, or so much armor. Him and Naga are the biggest offenders.
Biggest offenders.
Yeah. Carl's having fun.
Yeah. Hard for him to crash him out and you crash fairly.
Carl's just walking through, he doesn't care. You talked about last game being a non-interactive lane. I think this game stands true as well with the Doom, right?
Well, non-interactive is taking a lot of hits.
You're right, actually. I spoke too soon. Carl, he's baiting him out with a bottle, and Leo's going for it. Carl, you're baiting out the wrong region, my friend. Leo is not afraid to hit you.
I thought he was just all delivered it. He was great.
Minos down bottom. Is he gonna die to Cuckoo? No, actually, with a whole missile. Trying to turn this around. There's no search on Cuckoo just yet, which means he's killable. Rocket Barrage straight for Zephyr, but Zephyr had an ion shell that you can't see because it's under the saddle. So Minos gets surprised as Zephyr trying to outrun this Phoenix, and Wu hits the last Fire Spirit. With the Tango though? With a Tango, he's actually getting out of this one alive, Zephyr. One more Fire Spirit.
Oh.
Zephyr fights back, tries to go for the kill, but it's not going to be enough damage. Close, though.
What a hero. And I do mean guy here, not actually the hero. That's just, I am going down guns blazing.
Yeah, very impressive. I didn't think of using the Iron Shell versus Snapfire interaction to hide it, but that was pretty... I don't think we'll realize, or Minos realized until it was too late.
That's unfortunate. I don't think that was quite intentional. I mean, with Snapfire, you just have a great combination. The fact that you can't really see it.
It's the only one thing you can use with the support, range support here with the Darks here, right? At least you have to have some sort of trick up your sleeve.
Yeah, and interesting by the way. I thought that Minos versus, especially versus Darkseer, was going to go for the Flak Cannon max and stats for sure. But this is Rocket Barrage. I think he's adapted to the fact that he has a TA.
I like that idea. Yeah. That's good. And that fixes some of the problems you were talking about, right? Where like TA will be able to at least farm her first item. You play with Gyrocopter until then. And TA can fight. Maybe she goes with Blink Dagger first, you explain.
Yep. Then you sort of a baton pass back and forth. Get an item, no, I get an item. It's like the drafts that work that way are usually very elegant. It looks very good. And talk about that.
Oh, cool. Yeah, the elegant jump is not going to be enough to save him as Minos playing this really aggressively. And they also spear, by the way, Riki up in the top lane, but Savage has a way to escape, so he should be, well, still looking him back. Whitemon here to help him. Thanks to Ally, he's fine. I agree, by the way, those are my favorite drafts. I think Thunder is used to this, though, because Minos is aggressive carry, and Leo's style is a greedy mid, so...
Denied!
Like, no, if you come close to me, I'm going to take your refraction off. This
Yep. Has not taken the point in Doom yet. Oh, he's actually going to max the power first. It's going to be the I go Midas, I farm on my Doom.
I mean, we know he has the space.
You need to do something this team. Actually, sorry, guys. There's the Hex. Then we're down for the Savage. We just hit level 6, so...
Then I'm not so scared.
It's a lot of extra damage over on the ult. Flyer, and of course the Mars, well, doesn't even take...
So as T1, are you pressured to do something early or just wait for the Riki timings here?
I think you're good taking it later. We might be in for a pretty massive game here. Predator... One can decide what they want. Either run early with some form of Darkseer and... Carl is for his... Oh, okay. Side spots.
Double damage!
Carl? But they at least have that option. And for Thunder Predator, it's way harder because you really only have 3 active. Decide how slow or fast they want to matchups here.
Okay. What does that do psychologically to the players? Do you think that puts them at ease when they know they can play this way?
Yeah, probably. I often don't feel, but I've found that a lot of teams prefer to take it. Items are very much comfortable about what you're doing.
It's an interesting take. I mean, it makes sense, right? Because items also give you more options. You can do more things with items. Right.
Powering. And if you play up, then if you fail, it also feels way more like it's your psychological where I tried to make teams play faster, and as a result, yeah, the thing that lost us games did. And even though that is technically good, because you're taking initiative, the game is in your hands, you know, it was yours to lose, it feels worse. Because it's very clear that you did it, not something the enemy did to you.
That's very interesting.
Listen, man, I could talk for hours about how insanely fast OG empowered them to take a lot of super games while still playing with a lot of pressure in turn. They're so used to playing fast.
So, my follow-up question to watch this game develop is, does that mean that when you have a lot of these games where you control the tempo and you, say, make these mistakes and they're yours to lose, does that decrease the confidence of teams?
Yeah, it does. Because you're very clearly getting confronted with evidence that you're... You know, if you take a game late, they just farmed harder or something. Like, where did you make these?
23 Savage just avoided that arena like a god, but he's back into it. Oh no, Savage! This Rubik puts him back in the toy box. Savage gets away once again. Savage doesn't want to stay here and play, but Leo Styles not giving him this chance. He just needs one more hit, but they have no more dust. Savage lasted long enough, and instead they actually killed Minos in the bottom lane with Carl. So it ends up being a huge win for T1. That is massive.
I can't believe it.
Honestly.
Dire's middle tower is under
He has over corrosion kits. He has nothing. He has all his base armor. Okay.
Base armor, and yeah, that does do wonders when the damage dealers...
The cookie, it's the trade. Moose is as good as dead, and Savage is getting away.
The common sense to leave me be.
Nope. If there's someone that's gonna make me change my opinion on Riki Carey, it's gonna be 23 Savage, honestly.
Oh yeah, definitely. He's making... He's still not over the hill, if you... But he's making...
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
So he's not gonna go for the Mage Slayer. I think it's... I don't think that's the right build up. Like, I agree with your point about the Fusil Blade and Mage Slayer. Same item, but...
They're too close together. If the Mage Slayer... Then you can get it, you know, roll your way... Again, rolling your way towards something... Mess up, it's your mistake. This farm, it's not.
Right, it's true. And then you can always go, well, at least that was farm.
And in a lot of farms, it is the correct decision. Farming instead of heroes. But you know, in pro games, if they leave a Phoenix sitting out there...
It feels worse. Yeah. I get that. That's an interesting psychological component. It's actually been mirrored in a lot of sports, by the way. That's why people take safe shots even though they're wrong. In baseball, for example, bunts, which is when you just try to take your bat and not even actually try to hit the ball, they're almost always statistically incorrect. The players still do them because they don't want to look bad.
The second serves in tennis as well, right? Players tend to give those way easier.
Because they just don't want to look bad in front of the audience. Sometimes that happens. Even the component of being watched. I bet if you were in the pub and you knew that nobody was watching, it'd be a bit different.
I mean, this is why I think that the best Dota of the year is not played at TI. There's so many people watching.
The pressure mounts up. Carl. He has the haste rune. Plus a surge, so Carl is happy, but he's not fighting the Centaur creep just
Crimson
yet.
Guard. Yeah, this Gyrocopter. He's nearly got an Aghanim Scepter, actually. Add all that much damage for him. Still a hard fight. Carl's going to be very tanky.
And in fact, Leo's also not going for the Blink Dagger that we suggested, but rather just Desolator, so 2 farming heroes.
I mean, they're getting the space, right?
Right. So maybe T1 can now put pedal to the metal and start to really pressure them with the Doom.
Yep, so for me, pedal to the metal timing will always be the Aghanim Scepter of Darkseer, and they're still a little bit away from that. If Darkseer, they would... So it's going to be Blink Doom, Aghanim's Darkseer. That timing you're getting, and also for the TA as well. Predator is doing a really good job of making the absolute most out of this space.
We'll see when this game happens. I also think Carl is desperately trying to find a centaur, and he's been really unlucky. I cannot believe,
Radiant's
honestly.
bottom tower
This is
under
the
attack.
hardest part of playing Doom, which is finding the centaur conqueror and just RNG screwing you over. It's so frustrating.
No, items rant.
Oh, yeah, so did you write that in chat when we mentioned it earlier?
Oh, I laughed really hard.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
I knew you were having it.
It was both really rolled off. Garrett's laughing.
Radiant structures are fortified.
Yeah, I mean,
Dire's
I have
top
to say that with the
tower is
Doom,
under
one of the things that
attack.
this leads as well is, do I use my Devourer or do I wait for the
Radiant's
centaur to come up
bottom
just to
tower
see?
is under attack.
And then there is that moment, that breaking point where you think, I need this stun. Like, it has to happen.
It's there.
Oh, he got it.
Yes.
8 seconds, yeah. Hit the small ones. Hit the small ones, Carl. You know you want to eat
Dire's
this.
top tower has
This is the
fallen.
most hype part of the game, guys. If you're an SEA fan, oh, the centaur's eaten.
Radiant's bottom
And it's
Time to
tower
fight.
is
exactly the
under
blink
attack.
timing as well.
Yeah, honestly, chef's kiss execution here by Ice Rock. Cuckoo also almost has the Ags, actually. Pretty big deal.
Yep,
Very,
and
very
Riki
huge power.
defuse coming in.
Oh,
Triple
wow.
power spike. We can 5v5 this. I think both teams are ready for that. The TA is going... She's going to have the last myth there. And then, of course, the Aghanims is... Like, no blink bars.
Phoenix. Okay, it's just blowing up. Easy. Moves down.
And now T1 have no need to stop anymore. This game can go very fast all of a sudden. But they're immediately angling for more. Get as much mileage out of this defense as possible.
Radiant are
Scans on the money.
That's a very good skin. Thunder Predator using Vietnamese lines because that's gonna put T1 out. It's like, what? Are we back in SU? Clever.
Awaken CA instincts.
Yes. Throw, please. Actually, in competitive, they don't do that as much, to be honest. It's actually... And in pubs, they do play till the end. If you guys ever have a
do.
chance of playing in SEA.
Dire's
Like,
structures
they'll call you
are
every
fortified.
name under the sun. I've had people
Oh my
misinterpret this state. Like, they never give up and are like, well, no, they're always assholes. I'm like, yeah, but they play on.
That's true. They
They'll
are
call
always,
you
though.
way worse shit than in Europe. They will say they're not.
Dire's middle
And
tower
if you
has
sound
fallen.
even remotely like someone that's not from like one of the main countries, they will destroy you. If
Hey,
you're...
you see, I just don't open my mouth. Prowl is on top of Leo style right now.
Alright, there we go. Go for Leo's top with a supernova immediately. There's the Mortimer's Kisses. Leo is not going to survive this blue supernova. Does nothing. In comes Minos trying to help out, but it's too late. You've already lost your mid. Carl. That's a blink dagger.
Dire's bottom tower is
And the
under
stomp,
attack.
but does he want to reinitiate here? They're evaluating their options. Maybe the Rubik? Maybe the Rubik? Surge Carl, definitely the Rubik. Get the stun up. Inferno Blade, perfectly timed. Move, might decide to scorch earth. No, it's going to be 20 times to finish him
Dire's
off.
bottom tower
It did
is
silence the
under attack.
Gyrocopter. Now going for Wu, who has no supernovas. No, he's kind of vulnerable. Inferno Blade the Gyro, but they did come Riki to the wall, which means Savage in the fall. But Minos also dying here to Cuckoo, zooming past him. He has the Iron Shell still on him. A Cuckoo hits by those fire spirits. He's going to die to Wu. He got a bit too
Radiant's
cocky
middle
there.
tower is under attack.
What a slaughter. Yeah, that 300 extra health from the Iron Shell, you don't see that, but that is one of the reasons that T1 has long range to get over. Oh no. This was a one fight right up until this moment.
We do have the Stomp. We have the Infernal Blade on top of this. Scorched Earth to use. They bring him back. Oh, no. Bring him forward. Onto Leo. Another great spear. Frank. That's why they call him the Android. He just doesn't miss. And there's a machine.
Are scanning.
And thanks to all of these dives, actually not hours yet. ThunderP can just teleport the Gyrocopter into the...
Radiant's
Back up his
bottom
Roche
tower
attempt?
is under attack.
Might have to buy back to Doom. Still on CD for a little bit though.
We have vacuum and wall though, maybe. Okay, 26 out to the side. There's the wall. Actually really good. Call on the 3. Back in. Into the cookie. With a finger. Death and brings Whitemon back into the pit. Is that going to be enough? Yes, because 23 Savage now stuck. Frank maybe a bit too strong because the trade won't last long enough. Savage will die. Supernova just for kicks. And T1 will lose 3. Now, yes, you have your Doom back in, but not, well, maybe a chance. He was ready. Carl tried to use it, telekinesis in time. Comes with someone saves Leo, but he gets hit by the Doom. And the illusions is going to be enough. They have to deny him. Leo won't be able to survive this. They do deny him at least. They do Doom the Doom. But if someone dooms the Doomspringer, who dooms the Rubik? Not even needed. He is dead already. Earthsplake for Frank. And Frank will also fall.
You can see by Cuckoo's angle there that he was going for the rune, not for the hero. You know, if I stand next to him, he dies. So of the utmost importance here is the money.
Indeed. Cuckoo knows. Wu nearby. He's like, well, my team is dead, but maybe I can be useful.
Top tower is under
And
attack.
he is indeed, because they can't take down Roshan just with the fire spirits on. Has one last spirit. There you go. Wait for Savage. And there is nothing. Cuckoo actually wants to get the kill on Wu. Wu had the Icarus dive. He's gonna be fine. But the Roshan ends up going the way of T1.
Wiggling their way out of this one. I think the only problem that Thunder Predator have at this point, and it's incredible that they don't have farm issues.
Illusion.
So they've definitely farmed their way out of that pretty well. Now they're still on cool. They have the better AoE control here, but it's all tied up in these big abilities, this Supernova, this Arena, that normally I would not be talking about Arena cooldown, but it's over a minute now. More than 3 waves spawning. Go to world, whereas instead of T1 can go pretty much all the time.
I mean, yeah, Doom is nice, right? But as long as you have vacuum on this. You have vacuum Earthspike, vacuum Cookie, which we just saw in that fight was really impactful.
Radiant's bottom tower
Hard to hit.
is under attack.
Carl, most of all, is just a really big bullet right now.
Doom is a
Close to, yeah,
Radiant's
close to 3k
bottom
effective
tower has
HP.
fallen.
Got that Iron
Dire's
Shell.
top tower
Now he's
is
surged
under
too.
attack.
This man's a menace. Remember when there's no cap on that?
Yep, now you find the TA. Leo style refraction melts much like yourself. And Leo style will go down without him. Oh no. That's gonna be the 2 cores down. They're both trying to farm and then both just fall. That's not it. That's not what you're supposed to be doing, Thunder.
That's why you gotta be handing it over. Hard to send. But then again, at this point you
Radiant
can't anymore, right? Because
structures
T1 is going to be
are
running at you with 5 heroes as they have demonstrated.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
They bring down Wu as well. I mean, T1 is just unstoppable right now, and Thunder doesn't seem to have any options to bring back the space into the game. What is Carl pretending to do?
I owe you one.
You are.
He was diving the tier 2.
Radiant's middle tower has fallen.
Yep.
You gotta have some flair from
Radiant's top
theatrics
tower
while
is under attack.
some of these players know that they're in the end. Leo Style's in the dying business.
Leo style. Are you gonna make it out of this one?
Radiant's top tower
You're not.
is under
That's
attack.
the answer. Okay, well, that was easy. It is the 3rd time he's died in a row, pretty much.
No, you didn't
Radiant's
get Roshan.
bottom
You're going to
tower
lose
is under
access to your
attack.
own jungle as well. Gyro is still struggling his way towards the BKB. But even then, the problem with that BKB is that you still don't have burst damage. You have all these tanky heroes running at you, and I do very much make a Riki here as well, with that Ion Shell, with all of his stupid armor. He is not all that impressed by a Gyrocopter flag.
Is there a turning point here for TP? Like, is there a moment where they can actually start and fight, or is T1 just gonna keep running them down? Can they do
T1
anything?
executes this well. No, they got a place now.
The answer. They just killed 2 people. I don't even think they need to kick someone.
Radiant's middle tower is under
It's
attack.
You didn't see that coming.
It's the no-till answer, right? It's like they don't have place to make, right? If your enemy doesn't have any place to make, it means do whatever you want. Best option is
Dire are
What
scared.
is doing that? Like, they're just Once again,
Radiant's
textbook
middle
execution.
tower is under
This
attack.
game here,
Radiant's middle
I
tower
love
has
casting
fallen.
games like this. I can tell everybody at the start of the game, all right, this is how they're gonna play it, because these times they're gonna. Then they do it and they just don't stop, and I love watching it unfold.
Because you know they're playing correctly.
Yeah, yeah, like the the coach in me is very much like, oh guys, I'm so proud of you.
And Thunder is trying to go
This
for...
might be an issue. Oh, no, it isn't.
Radiant's top
It was a Hail
tower
Mary
has
play, but they
fallen.
might still be able to find someone. Let's see.
They're already grouping.
Nope. Yeah, they're grouping, and they know they can't go into the triangle because they would lose high ground advantage. Alright, well, Thunder just goes into the enemy triangle because this is the classic, we smoked.
Dire's
I guess we'll do
structures
something
are
with this.
fortified.
Like, this is the way that EG would try to recover from a game where economically behind. Oh, snap, Carl just went in.
Defense him. Arena used though before that. Doom. We did get multiple from a punch. He just took down moves and Leo fell. Either made out of paper. At least Cuckoo. No, yeah, he's taking damage for a second, but it's just gonna be an easy kill under the Phoenix. One last one on the Gyrocopter. And it's a win for T1. Another team wipe for them, and not even that hype because they just dialing over Thunder. Thunder doesn't have any options these fights.
No, they don't. I mean, the play that they make there is absolutely the correct play. So what EG? Because their lineups are not very good at making plays normally. They're very much equal. So what you do is you position in a place that you can hold. And then you dare the enemy to engage into you, and you hope that they can sloppily or confidently.
Radiant's top
Especially
tower
EG
is under
usually has the
attack.
tools to stand. This Thunder Predator lineup, between the arena egg, it's possible, but they were not really in. They weren't holding all of the points at the outside
Radiant's
of the
top
triangle.
tower is under
Carl just
attack.
gets to jump up and say, this is not actually your place to hold the fight. This is ours.
Radiant
And
are
that throws the
scared.
entire planet into disarray. Like,
Radiant's top
when you
tower
can't
is
make
under
plays
attack.
on, blinking in and disabling somebody, you need to make plays on positioning. That was the attempt. It was a good attempt. I wonder if that's a touch of fear.
What the play on position based on what Fields
Yeah.
taught them?
It's
I mean, it could
possible. But he mentioned that.
All right.
He knows what EG does.
Niji does that.
EG does that. A video, Glem's listening right now. I'm supposed to be putting out about this stuff. I've just been.
That's fine. I'm not judging you. Glenn is, and I'm not. Glenn can't speak.
Shout out to production.
Yes. That Glenn, he is not a hero. Unfortunately, in many years. Anyway, as we, you will probably draw something in the map, but we're gonna get T1 to take over the triangle. Carl to initiate. Is Carl even afraid of death right now? Apparently not, because he just hits the creep.
He has not been. Look at how they
Radiant's middle
peel
tower
apart
is
this
under
position
attack.
from the Predator. There's nothing they can do.
No, Minos. Minos dead again. Supernova's used defensively, but they don't care if it's Supernova. That's the activate the BKB, he does not get killed, and they just kill off Moose and Frank like they're nothing. Carl wants to blink in. We got a Doom. There we go. Thunder will call it. GG. They know they can't do anything else, and it's just time to give up.
Radiant's top tower.
Yeah, you gotta know when to hold them. You gotta know when to fold them. I would have folded them on the high ground